Hi everyone, welcome in. Welcome in everyone. We'll just be waiting on Alysha and then I'll get us started. Let's see. Welcome in everyone. Are y'all excited for season 4 of AU Pro Basketball? That is so exciting. We'll be in Nashville this year. I'm super excited to be in Nashville. New location, new faces. Super excited. Just waiting on Alysha to join and we'll get started, y'all. Welcome in everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome in, y'all. Like I said, we'll just be waiting on Alysha to join and then we'll get started. Season 4 in Nashville. Super excited. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. I do believe Alysha has joined. I'm going to send her over a request. Welcome in, everyone. Let me see. Welcome in. Hey, Alysha, try requesting. Try requesting on your end. It's not allowing me to. Let's see. Let me see if I can add her in. I just added you as a moderator. Maybe that'll help. Welcome in, everyone. Just trying to get Alysha on right now. For some reason, it's not allowing me to add her as request her in. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, I think that'll work now. Let's see. There we go. Hello.
Hello.
There we go. I don't know what was going on there. How are you doing today?
I'm well. Well, one, I was trying to do it from my laptop, trying to be fancy in advance, but didn't work.
It's all good. It's all good. Well, first of all, y'all, this is the very first live with Lex, with the one and only Alysha Clark, as you guys can see. I mean, Alysha, three-time WNBA champ, 2023 Sixth Woman of the Year, defensive specialist, and just an all-around bucket. Just an all-around bucket. I mean, Alysha is just so excited to have you on today.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
And before we even get into the nitty gritty, I just want to say, first of all, congratulations on an incredible season this past season. I'm sure it was a gauntlet, just kind of going through the season and everything. But what have you been doing to recover, and how are you just preparing for February at this point?
Yeah, well, thank you. It was definitely an exciting season. Didn't end the way we wanted it to, but that's sports. But it always gives you something to work towards, so that's always fun. And what have I been doing? Honestly, I rested. I rested up until about 3 weeks ago. Just let my body recover and heal. And then I started back lifting and just doing like some rehab uh, active lifting and stuff like that. And now I'm back home for the holidays and spending time with family and friends and just still working out. Usually like mid-December is usually my like get back on the basketball court time. So I
For
just allow myself this time to just lift, get my body strong and feeling good before I get on the court.
now, I'm sure everyone wants to know this question. I mean, why did you choose AU? I mean, season four in Nashville. Why did you, Alysha Clark, choose AU?
I chose AU one because it's here at home, and just the opportunity to play again in front of family and friends and supporters from like all the way back in high school. Like the amount of coaches, my college, one of my favorite college coaches, texted me the other day, said she was going to bring her daughter. My high school coach just gave me a call right before this, and so just being able to have family and friends and supporters be able to come watch me play live was something I was like, you know what, this would be amazing and kind of just a full circle moment for me.
What has that support meant to you? I mean, you went back home to the glass house to kind of talk to
Yeah.
some of the athletes there, the current athletes there. Just what has that meant to you? Just coming home and just receiving that endless support.
It's amazing, honestly, just because when I was here, when I first started to get on this basketball journey, these are the people that saw me when I didn't even know what like a jump shot or how to, shoot a jump shot, what that even was, or how to pivot, or, my best friend, like how to even throw an overhead pass. These were the people that were there, and supporting and encouraging me then. And so to be able to have accomplished what I have and, along this journey and come back to where I played and pour into these girls. Because, shout out to the mid majors and
Shout
to the second rounders
out.
that, that don't have the normal path and don't have the normal access to just the players in general. I've always said I want to be a voice and be able to pour back to the younger generations and help them be better. So to kind of go back into the house and where it all started, it's special anytime I walk in there because it feels like it was yesterday, but it was so long ago. And that's the kind of cool part about it.
I mean, I was a former mid-major player as well, now, so I know exactly what you mean. I
Yeah.
mean, I know exactly what you mean. We don't have all the resources, so being able, when you get in between those 94 feet, it's just ball. So I understand that
Yeah.
100%. Um, I mean, everyone always just kind of talks about just how you prepare. I mean, just the mastery
Mhm.
behind how you defend at such a high level and still being able to shoot at such a high clip. How are you able to, one, even prepare for that, one, but how are you going to bring that mindset into AU as well?
Yeah, the way I prepare is a little bit obsessive. I've kind of joked about it over the years, but it really is. And I'm perfectly okay with that.
Embrace
Because
it,
for
embrace
I
it.
I have because I'm somebody who likes to be prepared. And when you're fighting for a roster spot, when you're fighting for a position in this league, the goal is to get a step ahead, be a step ahead. And so that's kind of the approach that I've always taken. And shout out to Jenny Busick. She's the one who taught me how to break down film, the importance of numbers. She said Shane Battier used to study this way, when it came to defense. And so when she introduced me to that, I was like, this is amazing. Like,
Yep.
why isn't this more, more known and more talked about? And so from that point on, it's just been how I've studied. Like, I know what players want to do before they know what they want to do. I know where they shoot the best, or where they shoot their highest percentage or take the most shots from on the court, etc. And it's just because I want to have an advantage in some way. You know what I mean? My position isn't one, my role isn't one in the league that I'm going to get a bunch of touches, I'm going to get a bunch of opportunities. It's like, okay, well, how can I make an impact with the minutes I'm getting, and my time on the floor? And so that was the way I found to be able to do that. And so yeah, I mean, I think AU is going to be a little different. I won't have as much time to obsessively prepare, but
A
I'm
hundred
going to take
percent.
that same mindset. Like, I'll watch film, I'll watch players' tendencies, I'll take my own notes, and be able to kind of just put that together for myself, to study. But it's just like anywhere I play, I always make sure that I'm as best prepared as can be.
Do you think that the way you prepare is different from others in terms of like how you even started playing the game? You didn't start from a yay high kid. Like you started about
Yeah.
middle school, high school. Is Do you
hmm
think that you kind of use that IQ and preparation to offset the skill or the talent or whatever what have you?
Oh, for sure. That's something for me that I've always prided myself on is being a high IQ player. I'm an intelligent individual, so I'm happy
Super
that it
intelligent.
translates onto the
Mm-hmm.
basketball court as well.
Yep.
But yeah, that's something that, that's an intangible, right? Like,
Yep.
I always talk to people about intangibles of the game, and that's a piece of it. And so yeah, I mean, starting as late as I did, it kind of threw me into the fire of learning how to play, learning how to read, the game, learning how to play with others. Like, it was just like a crash course. And
Mm-hmm.
so, I think that allowed me to kind of flow into it in the way that I did. And it's been special. Like, this journey has been amazing. And that's something that I hold in high regard, is the ability to be able to show up the way that I have, that having the journey that I've had. And just, I mean, being as consistent and steady as I have been. And that's something that I think, is overlooked a lot of times, when you look at like the grand scheme of like an actual team.
100%. I mean, we talked about the defense. I don't know if people understand how difficult it is to defend the best player and then come down and score the way that you do. Like, how have you been able to use your offensive mindset as well as being able to be such a high level defender?
Yeah, honestly, because up until I got to the WNBA, my job was to score. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure like a bunch of the players in the league. And so um that mindset that I had, that nobody was going to be able to keep me from getting to my spots and keep me from getting to what I wanted to do, I just took that to the defensive side and the defensive mindset of it. And so it's like, okay, I'm going to dictate on the defensive side of the floor what you're going to do. And you're going to have to beat me with not your A or B, but your C and D. And so
Exactly.
when you're guarding the best, like, I've literally guarded all the best players in the world. And it's been a beautiful challenge. I'm gonna put it that way. But I think for me, it's kept me sharp for as long, for so many years, because every year there's a different type of player, a different skill set of player coming in, and I'm constantly having to learn and, be on top of my game. And so to do that, I use my training period to be able to, like, my off-season training, a lot of it is like lower body loading, being in the defensive stance, being, the lateral stuff, and then which translates over to the offensive side, being loaded and being ready to shoot and score. And so just making sure I'm in great shape. And that's something, again, I've always prided myself on, taking care of my body and just utilizing that. And, I don't know how many people work on like defensive positioning in their off season. I mean, outside of Drew Holiday and, is the one that I know
No.
of.
Yeah, it's not common, I will say. Mostly it's just like getting in the gym and putting up shots. I mean, a lot of people
Yeah.
don't work on the defensive aspect of it, honestly. I don't know anybody personally. Well, as everyone knows, KB, Sid, Las Vegas Aces, your current teammates. How excited are you to be playing with KB and Sid this year
Oh,
in the off
I'm so
season?
excited. I love my teammates down. And so to be able to, play with them in a different setting, because even, for the three of us, like our roles are completely different
Completely different.
in
Yep.
on the Aces, but like when we're on the team together in practice, just seeing how we're able to move and play off of one another, it's so much fun.
Hmm.
And so to be able to now be in a situation where we get to play together here at AU in that same fashion, it's exciting. You
Yep.
build chemistry and, on the court, and just to be able to have them people that I'm comfortable with, because I don't associate, and I'm not friendly with a lot of people around the league. So to be able to have
Maybe
like
because you're
actual
locking them
people.
up all the time, AC. They can't
No,
get any buckets on you. That's
it's
why.
just, I mean, everybody's super sweet, but I'm a very reserved
Mhm.
person. And so to be able to have people that I'm comfortable with, and have friends that are going to be there is exciting for me.
For sure. I mean, with AU just being complex the way it is, and the switching of the team every week, just the whole nine. Everybody has different roles. Everybody has different positions. How do you think that you'll be able to adjust into the, like you said, you won't be able to dissect. You won't be able to dissect any film the way that you do, but how do you think that you'll be able to just contribute, whether it just be your energy, whether it just be anything? Like, how do you think you personally can contribute in an untraditional fashion, if you
Ye-
will?
Yeah, yeah, no, honestly, like shout out to my journey. I know I keep saying shout out, it's annoying.
No, no,
But
you're good.
I honestly like my journey, because I've had to adapt on so many different on every level. I've had to adapt in every role, every season. Um, that's something that I'm a very adaptable player and a very
Hmm.
adaptable person. So I think it's perfect for, the AU setting
Yeah,
where it's changing every week. I have different teammates I have to get to know. And, just relying on my leadership space, of learning my teammates and, learning how to bring the best out of them. And I think to be able to have that in my back pocket and utilize that week to week, I think is going to be beneficial for me.
for sure. Adaptability. A lot of people don't know how to adapt, and especially at such a high level at which you play at. Just
Yeah.
kind of watching you over the years, your ability to adapt is insane. Honestly, like being
Thank
able to guard the
you.
best player, knock down shots, just being just that utility player if needed, just being that person that the coach can always call on the AC. Hey, I need you, and you're
Hmm.
always there to show up. That's something that I personally always admired about your game as well.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem. What are some things that you just hope to get out of AU? Like not even, I wouldn't even say on the court, but like just off the court. I mean, just how big you are in the community,
Mm.
in all aspects. I mean, just being home. Like, what are just some things that you really hope to get out of season 4 in Nashville this year?
Yeah. I honestly, for me, for so long, I've wanted to kind of just have my mark here in the community the way that I've done in the cities that I've played in. But I want to be here. I've
Mm,
always been very protective over how I show up for things, especially in the community. And so like
hmm.
I've never been somebody that's like, oh yeah, just put my name on it and I'm there. But I actually like want to be here. And so I've never had the luxury of having enough time in my off season to be able to be home long enough
Yeah,
to be able to do that. And so this being playing in AU is giving me the opportunity to do that, as well as having the resources and just like the team behind me with AU. That's the thing that honestly like drew me in, was how much they pour into the players in their off-court ventures and the things that they want to do post-career. And you don't get that everywhere. And so for them to, want to, I mean, the fact that I get to pick a charity here that I've, worked with over the years from afar, now I get to be here in person and kind of have that immediate impact is something that I'm really looking forward to. I think there can be some really special things done here in Nashville the way that I've done in Seattle and Vegas and DC.
and you most likely just will make your impact. I mean, you've been a trailblazer in Seattle, you've been a trailblazer in Vegas. I
Mm.
mean, I'm more than certain you'll definitely continue to be a trailblazer in Nashville. I mean, even kind of going into that, I mean, you are the epitome of what it means to be unlimited. I mean,
Mm,
just your standard of excellence, just your standard of resilience, just you being able to beat the odds in spite
mm.
of everything that you've gone through in your career. You've been injured, you've not been picked first, you know what I mean? um how have you been able to manufacture such a high ceiling for yourself?
Uh, I mean, honestly, I feel like I've always been somebody that um, has thrived on a challenge, and I've always thrived on wanting to be the best. I think back to before I even got into sports, like I didn't play sports when I was young, but I very vividly remember being like, okay, yeah, no, my science fair project is about to be the best. My book report that I'm about to present is about to be the best. My show and tech, like
A
I
hundred
was that where
percent.
I'm gonna read the most books in class. You know, that was always something that was there. Um, and I'm always somebody that's like, I want to get better and I want to do more. And so, I mean, like from mowing lawns to house sitting to having a paper route to working at finish line to running camps, like I've hard worker and wanting to provide and just push myself to the limit. Oop, and just push myself to the limit. And so as I got into sports and people were being like, "Oh, you won't be this or you won't be that or this is what's going to happen." And I was like,
No.
"Okay, you clearly don't know what you're talking about. Now I'm about to show you." Now,
Right.
thanks for hyping me up and giving me a little extra ammo.
Exactly.
um and so I think I've always just held myself to such a high standard. When it comes to excellence, I've never wanted to fail. And I know there's like, it goes both ways. Like it can be a plus and a negative, but I feel like I've done a pretty good job of making it mostly positive in my life and pushing for excellence for myself.
Where do you think you got that competitive edge from?
Honestly, I think growing up with siblings,
I hear
it's
you
like
on that. I
it's like
hear
a
you.
natural built-in competitive environment that you're in.
Trust me, I
um,
know.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I just like growing up having both parents that have worked in the house and just, work jobs growing up and seeing how they hustled and pushed, that just innately I drew to that and was like, okay, this is what I want to do. And then, with siblings, you gotta fight you for yourself, you gotta
Listen,
hold yourself, you gotta hold yourself up, you gotta fight for what you want, you gotta fight for that last piece of dessert or whatever it
what?
is that you want. So I
No,
think just naturally
seriously.
having that built in kind of did that. But honestly, I think I was born competitive. I was meant to compete because I
Period.
love to compete in everything and I love a challenge. So I think the Lord knew what he was doing with me.
No, seriously, I am the only girl of two older brothers, so I understand the competitive nature.
Yeah.
We would fight, fight, fight. So
Yeah.
it was, I understand that 100%. Having siblings is no joke, literally.
Hmm.
Um, what, I do love to ask this question just with anybody, especially with your caliber. What would you tell your younger self, 15, 20, 30 years? Like, what would you tell the younger Alysha Clark now?
Oh man. I think I would tell her that you are enough and that your heart and the way that you lead with it is going to take you to so many better things that you could have imagined possible for yourself. Um, because at times I think over the years, you get a little weary of, well, I'm doing things the right way, I'm going about things the right way, and it's happening for so and so before me, and and it's the death by comparison, right? And so I would just tell her like you're more than enough and you there's going to be some really beautiful things on the other side of leading with your heart as long as you keep doing that.
That's beautiful. I love that so much.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
I have "You Are Enough" tatted on me. That's
No.
how much I resonate with that statement. That's really beautiful,
Uh,
honestly. I love that.
thank you.
So enough with the really tough questions.
Yeah.
Word on the street. I don't know. Word on the street is I heard you can throw down in the kitchen. I don't know. A little birdie told me. I don't know, but I mean, tell me something. What's Thursday is Thanksgiving? What's on the menu? What we cooking
Yeah.
next?
I do. I love to get in the kitchen. That's my release away from basketball. It's a way to stay creative and be challenged. And I
Back to
love
the
good
challenge.
food.
It works in all
Back to
facets,
the
ladies and gentlemen. All
we're here.
facets.
But I love good food. So like honestly, that's why I got into cooking because I was like, if I
Hmm.
can make a bomb meal, like I will be happy.
Yeah.
So Thursday, my siblings and we have split responsibilities. A few years before my dad passed, he was like, I am passing the torch. Y'all need to start cooking. I've done it enough.
I
And
know that's
so
right, Pop.
yeah, so years ago we divvied up stuff. And I make the sides even overseas before because I hadn't been home for Thanksgiving in like forever.
Yeah.
I mean, probably college was the last time, and
Hmm.
that you don't even get to enjoy because you know you're about to
You're
run it all
back.
off
You're
the
going
next day.
back
Yeah,
next day, right? No holidays.
yeah, none. And so overseas, I was like, okay, I can't control what everybody else is doing, what they bring in, what they make it, but my favorite sides I can make so that way at least I walk out of there with something I enjoyed. And so for me, I make my dressing, I make my cranberry sauce, I make my sweet potato pie, and my cornbread. Well, my cornbread goes in my dressing, so I make my cornbread from
Right.
scratch
Yeah.
and then put that all together. Those are like, if I have those three things, I don't care if your
We
turkey's
good.
dry, I don't care if your mac and cheese is dry, I am set.
We good. As
We
long
are
as you know what you did was good,
we
that's all that matters.
we are set. So yeah, so my brother-in-law makes a bomb fried turkey that he made a couple
Ooh,
years ago for the first
ooh.
time. And I was like, what have I been doing? This is this is what we need. This
This
is
is
how we
what
should have been eating our
this is
turkey
the
all
material.
along. Yeah. So he makes a bomb fried turkey, and then my older sister and my younger sister, make the rest of the sides.
Awesome. That's super cool. That's super cool.
Yeah.
So I know we're pressing for time, so I don't wanna leave you on live all night. Although I know y'all probably want her to be on all live on live all night. We're not doing that today. So I have some audience questions first, of
Okay.
course. Sydney Colson asked, "Who are you going to hang out with most at AU, and why is it me and TV?"
Lily is a fool. I'm probably gonna hang out with Marty and Chip and Yams the most. Not Sydney and TP, but the better halves of them. I'll probably
The
hang out
better
with the
half.
most.
I hear that. Okay, what's your favorite thing? Someone asked, "What's your favorite thing about the AU format?"
Honestly, I think because it keeps it competitive. It's gonna
Hmm.
be competitive, when once I learned about like the quarter, because I knew about the overall structure of it, but then learning like, oh no, it's quarter by quarter and like this part of it and this, and I was like, oh my gosh. So it's gonna keep it competitive every game for all the quarters, which I love.
Hmm.
I think that's gonna be super exciting. So I'm really excited about that.
For sure. Someone asked, "What's the most memorable moment of your career and why?"
Oh, oh geez. Um, oh man, there's so many. I don't even know how to. Honestly, I'm gonna go just the most recent one to our championship last year, just because it was such a hard year for me personally after losing my dad, and to be able to show up and finish with a championship was indescribable.
Yeah.
It was a feeling that I can never um, like even think to feel ever
Yeah.
again. The highs of winning a championship. Hopefully, I get to experience that again. But
I mean,
that
you're
specific
three
championship,
already. I mean, you want more AC? I mean, what?
I do.
Jeez,
I
let
do.
some other people get
No,
some championships.
no. Did you miss the
No.
part about me being competitive and all that? Like, no.
I hear that. Okay, someone asked, when will the first episode of Off Seasonings premiere? I want to know too, though.
Yeah. Well, episodes are recorded. Working out some details and stuff now, so I will definitely post an update as we get near, but in the near future.
In the near future. Y'all hear from the person's mouth. All right. How are you? This is the last question, y'all. How are you able to overcome a lot of adversities throughout your career? I feel like we touched on that a little bit, but we're
Mhm.
going to end it with that one.
Yeah, honestly, the mindset, the way, when adversity hits, you have two options the way that I look at it. You either
Mhm.
fold and give in to the adversity, or you find a way to get through and conquer it. And for me, to be able to get through and conquer it, it is changing your perspective and your mindset on what you're going through. And for me, it's like, okay, the end, if I'm going through, a stormy season in life, and it's like the end goal is here to be at peace. What do
Mhm.
I need to do every day to be able to put me a step closer to getting to peace? And, going through my rehab journey, it was, I want to play next season. um, so to get there, and so for me, it was finding my daily wins. Okay,
Yeah.
today, I was able to lift my big toe where yesterday I couldn't, or
Yeah.
today I held my calf raise for 10 seconds and yesterday I couldn't. So just being able to find those daily wins, as you're going through those stormy seasons, those rough patches, and just kind of having that reality check along the way, when it gets tough, because it does.
It does.
Adversity, you go, life is like
Yeah.
this. And so on the downs, it's like reminding yourself, are you going to give in to this storm, or are you going to find a way to get through? You're going to put on your raincoat and your boots and get through. And that's kind of what I do, is just like a touch point through those periods to make sure that I'm staying focused on what matters, and that's my end goal that I have in mind.
Awesome. Finding your daily wins. I love
Yeah.
that. That's a
Yeah.
wrap, Alysha. I
Oh.
really appreciate you
Thank you.
for
You made my
joining
live
us.
so much fun. I don't do lives. Everyone keeps asking me, and I'm like, for what? I don't like, I'm not just gonna sit on here.
I just got this. I wish I could keep you longer, but I want to respect your time, Alicia. It's been really fun. I'm just enjoyed chopping it up with you as well. Season
Likewise.
4 in Nashville. Get your tickets. We will
Yeah.
be in Alicia's hometown, homecoming for Alicia, if you will. But like I
Yeah.
said, just super excited to have you to the AU family. I mean, you're part of the fam at this point.
Thank you. I'm so excited to join the family. I've seen all the, stuff over the years, and I'm like, that looks so much fun. Like, that's cool.
Yeah,
Their little like family that they have, and now I get to be a part of it. So I'm excited to be a part. So thank y'all for having me.
for sure. Thank you so much, Alicia. Have a great night. All right.
All right, you
All
too.
righty. Bye
Thank
bye.
y'all.
All right. Thank y'all for joining.